Brought to you by Gamivo.com. Get the cheapest game time on the market, as well as other Warcraft products. Check out the link in the description below. Angoro Crater is really a strange zone. It is kind of out of place on Kalimdor when compared to the surrounding areas. When you really look at it, you have massive dinosaurs walking around, crystal pylons, titan facilities, and overall it is definitely not a zone you want to get lost in, but at the same time you also want to figure it out. Why? No one knows exactly how this jungle got its name. It is obviously a play on words in regards to an actual region in Africa, but in-game there are two sources that explain it. In the Tortolan tongue, Angoro is known as the land of the lost and the found, and in the Kiraji language it means God's lands. Why this is we'll cover in a bit, but let's look at what the actual zone is like. Angoro, as given by its name, is a massive crater completely surrounded by a wall of mountains, and right in the middle there is a volcano. You might expect that no one in their right mind would be living right around a volcano or in a crater, but you couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, the zone is an amazingly lush jungle and it is teeming with life. You have everything from dinosaurs to gorillas, stegodons to the ciliated golems and the elementals. At first, you might think, what is strange about that? It's just a regular WoW zone, you have what, beasts in a jungle? But other things that are going around when you really pay closer attention. See, long ago when the Titans shaped Azeroth and created the Titan Keepers to watch over the world, Freya did a few things. Aside from creating the Emerald Dream as the blueprint of Azeroth, she also created 3 zones: Angoro Crater, Shozar Basin, and the Whale of Eternal Blossoms. These functioned as the Titans' testing grounds and were intended as areas for experimentation on life. Normally, Titan creations wouldn't really interfere with life, but these 3 areas were there for them to take a more direct, hands-on approach. Angoro Crater is best explained as the Titan's petri dish. Now, around the time of Wrath of the Lich King, we discovered the Shaper's Terrace, and as the cloaking mechanism was damaged by the shattering later on, we've also discovered yet another Titan area within the zone. Judging by the location of these, quite on the edge of the crater, it is more than obvious that they were built in order to observe this artificial zoo, to experiment and to examine life from a distance. Eventually, Freya departed, and only recently we would discover Neblia, a Titanic Watcher left in charge of performing tests in her absence and watching over the life forms. Now, we don't really know about the exact experiments and what they were like, but we do have some information. Most importantly, from these 3 zones, the wild gods emerged. This was most likely done by enhancing the native life forms of Azeroth, and as the Well of Eternity's power coalesced around Angoro Crater, it was one of their birthplaces as it gave them energy. You might know the wild gods as the Guardians, the August Celestials, or the Loa. Aside from them, this experimentation might also explain why you see such a wide variety of beasts in this zone, kinda out of place when compared to the surrounding areas. Sure, you might have the regular elementals, gorillas, and the like, but when I previously mentioned dinosaurs, I meant dinosaurs as in plural, as in many various versions. There are anything from raptors to flying sky screamers to the massive devil soul. We know so little about the actual native life on Azeroth, but it is highly likely that some of these are descendants of the enhanced test subjects or the test subjects themselves, making them more unpredictable and dangerous than any regular beast. Aside from danger, Angoro is also land of mystery. You might have noticed various crystals all over the crater, and no one really knows how they got there, what is their exact purpose. In fact, the entirety of Angoro Crater is teeming with natural resources. I'd say if explored, it would really be a gold mine, but only recently have organized that intelligent humanoids started exploring more, as really you'd have to be very brave, or more importantly have an entire army that controls an entire continent behind your back to start a mining operation here. Additionally, it was said during the War of the Shifting Sands over 1,000 years ago, when the Kiraji overran Silitus, they had reached Angoro. However, something had prevented them from ever taking over this area and from permanently settling there. Based on what we know about Titan facilities, it is most likely some sort of a cloaked defense system that was set in place, as they could have expected an attack from the old god forces. Surprisingly, the Cult of the Damned somehow managed to reach this place, most likely to the portals, as the Titans had connected Shozar Basin and Angoro Crater to observe their creations in an easier manner. Seeing how all the 3 test labs are in a very different area, the far north, the middle and far south. My guess is that they had intended to test life through varying ecosystems and to connect them. However, unfortunately that system was abused by the Cult of the Damned. Currently, it has been more than a few years since we've been to Ngoro Crater, or much had really happened. Most recently there was a Legion invasion, but that was really about it. However, it is entirely possible that if something happens, some change to Azeroth after the Shadowlands, we could see a new storyline for the mysterious Ngoro Crater. Thank you for watching. Check out who is stronger, an orc or a Kultiran, by clicking on the screen, and also check our second channel, Doronsmovies Academy, for videos on real world history and science. See you next time.